Hello, everyone, and welcome to part one of the two-part finale of Denver by Night. Where we left off, things were not headed in such a bright direction. Our lovely kindred here had been taken by the Two-Eye after taking a few blow darts of blue velvet to the neck. We will go around now and introduce everyone and who they are and who their kindred is. And we will start in the order that I see you. So, Shane.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shane Easton, and I'm playing Jax Tuesday, or Malkavian, for the evening.
Bonnie. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, how's them apples? Hello, everyone. My name is Bonnie Gordon. I'll be playing Agnes, your gangrel for the night.
Christina.
Hi, my name is Christina Ariel, and I will be playing Delilah, and I'm your Toreador.
Michelle.
Hi everyone, I am Michelle Wynn Bradley. I will be playing Ibis, your Tremere for the evening.
And a special guest who will join us at a dramatically appropriate moment, Miss Nora.
Am I introducing myself now, or or I guess later or now? What are we doing?
Well, you can say your name and your character.
Oh, sorry, you were cutting out a little bit. I apologize. Hello, I'm Nora Ibrahim. I will be playing Dr. Nadia Malik, and I am a Ventru.
Excellent. All right. The four of you come to. Your eyes start to open a little bit, and you feel that pain. You've been definitely roughed up quite a bit. And when you open your eyes, you see metal walls. It almost looks like a train car. You just feel the shaking, rumbling underneath you. You're definitely in transit. You see a few of your other friends who have been taken that are currently with you. You see Heather. You see Theodora staked over in the corner. And you see one of the twins, but not the other.
I want to check to. Is my clothing intact? How's the situation going here?
You look pretty roughed up. It's not the orange jumpsuit, but the clothes that you do have on. You look like you've been in quite the kerfluffle.
You're muted, Michelle. You're muted.
Well, that's super terrible. Just getting right back into this. I want to go around and poke everyone to see if they're conscious or not.
And you do all feel pokes. You're all sitting very close to each other. But as you move, Ibis, you feel that you're chained up. You've definitely got zip ties and manners like ankle bracelets on you. And you do notice as you look around that there is a couple of guards that are standing near the doors of what the train car are. Heavily armed military type.
Super bad. Hey. I do like a very bad whisper. Hey, is anyone else awake? This is super bad.
Oh, God, I'm sleeping. Jeez. You're puking measle. Why did he have to poke me like that?
We are in a super bad situation, and we're also chained up. I wonder if any of you could get us out of this situation.
I can try. I would like to try and see if I can inconspicuously, that's a word that I can say with fangs, break my bonds without drawing attention to the guards using my strength.
A bit of an odd roll. Give me your strength and stealth.
Stealth. Oh, Right. Oh, that's not so
I like
bad.
this roll. This is a
Okay.
good roll.
That's not so bad. That's actually pretty good. Let's see what I got. I live in the woods. I'm pretty stealthy. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, and thanks to the lovely Michelle, I'm not as hungry anymore, so I don't need to grab as many red dye. Thanks for the snack. Let's see. Okay. I think I did it. Maybe. I got 2 of the special ones, which I think means 4.
4.
Or-
Mhm.
Yeah. And
That's
then
correct.
2 regular successes as well. So 6 successes.
Are either of the special ones on a red die?
No.
Beautiful. Yep, you are able to bust through. It's a little bit of a clink. You know, you let out a little cough as you do it and kind of cover the sound. You see the guard kind of looks over at you for a second and kind of like steps away to like move back because he's grossed out at the coughing and looks the other way. And you do feel the clink of the link open and fall.
All right. I did that. But now what? It's not like we can go anywhere.
Everyone give me a wits and awareness roll.
Now this is where I'm not as good.
I got 4 successes.
I got 1 success.
I got 2 successes and a mean old skull on a red die.
Did you want my successes? That's 2.
That means my hunger goes up, correct? You're muted, Melee. Melee, you're muted.
We're all doing that today. That's the thing we're doing. It's a new trend. We'll get that started on TikTok. So with 2 successes, Bonnie and Delilah, Agnes and Delilah, you see that there are guards, but it's a little dark in here and it's kind of hard to tell. Ebis, you're very worried that you guys are going to get caught, so you're a little distracted. You see the one by the door. And Jax, you notice that there's a few more guards down at the other end. You're probably standing here with about 4 armed guards, but there are doors. But you are moving.
Hey, Agnes, if you could break my chains for me, I think I could figure out how to get us out of this situation.
Yes, ma'am. Can I reach her chains without moving too far?
Yep, you are all sat very close to each other.
All right. I'm gonna grab your chains and do another. Okay. I feel bad doing that now without wearing a mask.
I won't make you roll for it. I will say that because you did it once, you're even better at it now. You've got a little bit of the skill handy, and you are able to pop the chain off.
While I'm here, I might as well just do the other ladies. Come here, girls. I'm just gonna. I apologize. I'm just gonna break them all. For a vampire that doesn't breathe, I sure am coughing a lot.
Do you also break the chains of the still sleeping friends of yours? Heather and Angela are actually pretty close to you as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if I do that, it would wake them up. It might draw too much attention, other than my horrible coughing fit.
Valid. All right, you are all free. You have the chains off. You can kind of maneuver your hands a little bit, and you probably have the ability to maybe get up and walk around. Do you tell them how many guards there are, Jax?
Yeah, I said there's a few more over there. It's, there's about 4 of them in here with us.
Well, I think we need a plan of attack. Obviously, some of us can strong arm these guards, and some of us can just cast a spell. I could probably get 1 if I'm lucky. How about you all?
Well, I thought maybe one of you could cause a scene, and I could disappear and trip them all as they start running towards us.
Cause a scene, you say?
Yeah, I don't know how we would do that, but that was what I was thinking we could do.
I'm just gonna punch Michelle.
Michelle's not here, but Eva's
I was like, you need to. I'm gonna look at Delilah and then look at you, and back at Delilah, back at you, and be like, well, I'm on her payroll, and I'm just gonna cause a scene. Sorry.
I activate Unseen Passage the second I can see her going for it.
I'm gonna move you. I'm gonna push you. I'm not gonna go crazy on you, but I'm gonna deck you and say, get off me, as if you like rolled on to me in your sleep or something.
Ebis's reaction is 100% real. Oh no, I don't. Oh, goodness, it hurts when you punch. Oh my good. What are you raising a barn? Oh my god.
You notice immediately the 2 of the guards closest to you, and you can hear the clanking of guns as you see that they turn and point all the weapons directly at you.
Oh, go ahead and shoot her.
She rolled over on me, and I was trying to sleep. Could you not hear me coughing? I'm trying to get some more air.
He goes, knock that shit off.
Come over here and tell that. Come over here and tell that to my face.
He goes, you'll see. And he at-eases and leans up against the door, and you can hear the chewing and smacking of his gum.
So much for tripping him.
I run full speed at the guard. I'm going to try to just knock him and grab his gun out of his hands.
All right. You run at him. You are unseen, so he does not see you coming. Give me, because it is very crowded in here, give me your dex and athletics to see how well you do running over the bodies, as well as if you're able to get the gun out of his arms when you collide with them.
May I call upon the power of my blood to rouse and have a little extra?
Yes, of course.
Thank you, darling. I pass.
Excellent. Oh, and yes, do remember, I forgot this. This was my bad. Everyone, since you just woke up, you do need to roll 1 hunger die to see if you get hungrier or not in the morning.
So over 6 is hungry, more hungry? Is that what's going on? F.
I got 5 successes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You run with cat-like grace throughout the kindred strewn about this car. And you collide straight into this guard, and you get your arms around his gun, and both of you go to the ground. But you've got a good grips on this. But the others, because as soon as you touch something, your unseen passage drops, they see, and they immediately point all the guns at you.
That's when I'm going to come up from behind. That's all right. I was like, oh, that's a better distraction. We should have done that from the start.
Excellent. Yes, and you're marching up behind?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're separated like 2 and 2, kind of. Is that what we're kind of getting at?
Yes, they were kind of by each one of the
Okay.
doors. There's four doors in the car. So there's 3 of them moving in closer with the guns now towards the one that Jax has just tackled.
Okay. I would like to activate Fear Weapons and extend into claws. It's a rouse check. And that is okay. That is a success. And then I'm just gonna, if they're distracted with looking at Jax, I'm just gonna come up in the 2 that are closest to me. I'm just gonna rip along their backs as hard as I can through whatever clothing, anything I can. If their backs are turned.
And is there a roll when you use feral weapons? Is it just strength and brawl?
No skill roll to activate. When
skill.
it just activates it, and when activated, I add +2 to my brawl damage and
Excellent.
cause aggravated health damage to mortals.
So yes, give me a strength and brawl roll to see how badly you mess them up with those claws. In the process of you coming at them with the claws, 3 of them do take a shot. 2 of them succeed, 1 of them miss, and 1 of them hits you, Bonnie, for 1 ag. And the other one hits, I'm going to dice roll this to see how this one went. The other one hits you, Jax.
Oh. I have the gun now with the man that I was wrestling, and I'm going to shoot him point blank.
You unload one?
Yeah,
Where do you aim?
his head.
Excellent. You are point blank, but yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You're right on top of him. And yeah, you see this guy's head just goes, and you have dead army guy lying on top of you.
These are humans, right? Not kindred?
There are other things besides those 2 options, I will remind you.
God damn it.
How do I figure out damage? Is that the amount of success that I have?
I believe, I could be wrong because I do not know Gangrel very well, I will admit to that, but I believe that it's a difference between what they roll and what you roll.
Okay.
It should say with feral weapons right next to it how the damage works.
What I wrote down was it adds +2 to brawl damage and causes aggravated health damage to mortals. That's what was in the book. In any case, I got 6 successes, and then the +2, I don't know where that's supposed to go, but 8?
That would be how much damage you do to him. 6 successes. Did you write down if there's I don't think that's a contested roll. I think he just takes 8 damage. I could be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. There's my brain's full of things. Apparently this information is not one of those things. Yeah, and you see his back shreds. It takes a minute to get through the backpack that he has on that has gear in, but you're able to shred through that, and then you shred directly into his back. And there are 2 left standing, because if this guy isn't dead, he is definitely on the ground hurting and probably in the process of dying.
I would like to, while I'm still kind of crying on the ground, just sort of, if I can kind of scoot over to one of the guards to touch his foot to try to cast Cauldron of Blood. So I think the scooting is what, athletics and the scooting is.
You're trying to be unnoticed and kind of stealthy. We'll say another dex and stealth.
Dex, and where is stealth? Okay. Oof, that is 2 successes. One is a crit success on a hunger die. Does that mean anything?
No, the critical only matters if you get 2 of them. The 2 successes, okay.
Yeah.
And what is Delilah doing while all this goes on?
Delilah is not in her best. It's just she's laying us on the side, bemoaning everything that's happening. She could be fighting, but she's very, very upset. Does no one care why I'm upset? I understand you're in the middle of this spat, but does no one care that I'm upset at the moment?
I was gonna offer up that 4th guard to Delilah as a snack, but I don't think she's hungry.
Do you understand that once again, since I've met up with you, I've found myself captured and wearing the most appalling of clothing that I've ever seen in my life. Do you think that I'm used to this? If you wanted the guards taken out, I could have taken them out for you. Someone could have asked me, but no, everyone just left me here to mourn and sit in my filthy rags in this filthy cell, feeling awful about everything that's happened.
I'm visualizing you saying this as we're like all punching and like fighting. Like, yep, I got nothing to say. That a little busy, Delilah. We'll talk after.
Well, you need to reconsider your priorities.
And as this conversation is going, Ebis, you are able to kind of use that as a distraction because the guard kind of looks up as this is happening with that kind of, this is the conversation we're having now thing as he's holding the gun and looks very confused. And you're able to reach over and kind of tap his ankle and get a hold of him. And tell us what you do with Cauldron of Blood.
So I have to roll my dice pool first, right? For my mouse check. Okay. And then I do this first. It's my resolve and blood sorcery versus their composure and occult or their fortitude.
Okay.
1, 2. I got 3 successes.
They only got 2.
Oh my god. Okay, so I have to pay the cost of sorry, where is it here? Okay, so it's real bad. I basically boil the blood of my victim in their own veins, causing massive damage and excruciating pain. This is pretty bad. So once I do this, it says on a win, each point of margin causes 1 point of aggravated damage in the victim. So that's, since I got 3 and I got 2, then I got 1 point of damage. If it's immortal, taking at least 1 damage, they die screaming. If it's a vampire, they add 1 hunger per point of damage inflicted.
You notice that as you touch his ankle, it's almost like steam starts to coalesce around the ankle, and you can see the veins from his ankle turn dark, almost like they're burning from the inside out, and they just go all the way up his body. You start to see it on his hands and on his face, and his eyes turn blood red, and then his head just explodes. And he is now guy soup on the floor.
Oh, that was real terrible. I've never done that one before. I read it in a book. And I'm sure glad that worked out. That was weird. That was real weird.
For story's sake, can we say that his name was Todd and he's now a hot toddy?
I just had one of those today.
It was Todd. How'd you know?
Todd the guard. Great.
I look over at Ebis and I give her one of these. Yeah, Ebis, that's right.
I remember a thing. Yeah.
The one guard left looks at all of you terrified and just goes, "Holy shit!" and starts running for the door.
Is it light out? Is it daytime? Like if he opens that door, are we screwed?
You can't really tell. It's definitely a closed-in train. There's give me your wits and awareness one more time.
Okay.
We'll see in the middle of the fight how much you're able to kind of pick up about your surroundings.
Okay. I was too busy fighting. One success. If anyone else wants to see if it's daylight outside, that's a little bit more observant than me at the moment, by all means, feel free to roll yourself. But I don't know. But I just don't want us to die in a little train.
Anybody else going to roll for that?
I did. I got 2 successes.
2, yeah, that's enough. You notice that there all are small, kind of like slatted holes towards the top that you're kind of like, oh, kind of like for air, probably for the guards, even though we don't need to breathe. That makes sense. And you can see what looks like every now and then a tiny bit of light that just goes past, but it's an artificial light that you see. You can probably come to the conclusion that you're in some kind of subway tunnel.
I look at Agnes. I can tell she's uneasy, and I go, "No, it's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just let him go."
If he gets out of here, though, he could tell others that we're awake and that we've escaped.
Fuck, you're right. And I take the gun and I shoot him.
Oh my!
Roll me your dex and firearms. Does Delilah do anything to try and stop him as he runs past?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab him and I'm going to kiss him. And I'm going to use my lingering kiss to convince him that he doesn't really want to do that. Would it work in the best interest of me? Then he doesn't want to hurt me. Does he really want to hurt me? No, because he won't, and he can't.
And how many successes for the dex and firearms, Jax?
1.
As you are doing this, Delilah, you hear a bullet go whip past both of your heads as it just narrowly misses him. Didn't come anywhere close to you, but you can see that it got very close to him as it shoots past. But he is definitely entranced.
I'm sorry. I'm an artist. I don't know these things.
I'm just going to look at Jax and slowly grab the gun away from her, be like, I got that.
You know, just because you can shoot a gun doesn't mean that you should.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, now that we've created a bloodbath in our little cage here, let's wake up our friends and see how the hell do we get out of here and where are we? I'm sure the others woke up with all that gunfire and screaming.
And the guard does look up at you, Delilah, and he goes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. But just whatever you need, whatever. You want me to unlock your friends?
Well, first of all, I'd like you to unlock my friends. I'd like you to unlock the door. And I'd like you know what? I don't want you to unlock us. I actually want you to cuff us all and carry us out.
Oh, he goes, I can do that. He goes, especially because, and you feel the train slow down and come to a stop. And he goes, we're already at where we need to be anyways. And the doors of the train slide open. And you see probably about 50 to 60 heavily armed military guards standing outside the door that all take form and go to the side and march to the side, making way for all of you to be escorted out. You see artificial lights through the door. It's definitely the opening of some kind of facility you see as you step out.
I'm gonna go over to Theodora and poke her to see if she's awake or faking it, or.
She is staked. She is mid-battle cry as you last saw her. She was about to run at the last 2 eye agent, and she right in the back.
Right. That. Hey, how do you undo that? I don't. Just like Michelle asking. I don't.
Ebis actually might not know because Theodora kept you pretty sheltered, didn't she? So, yeah, Ebis might not know. You can give me your wits and insight, or wits and streetwise, whichever's higher.
Let's see. The hell is streetwise? Okay. That is 1, 2, 2 successes.
If you pull the stake out,
It's good.
she might come back. That's a thing that you've heard might happen.
Okay. While all this fuss is happening, I've crawled back on the ground, so I just kind of scoot over and just kind of sit there trying to pull it out. Like, oh, this is so gross and I hate it, but I'm pretty sure this might work.
You do get it out after a little tugging, and you hear go, ah! And she goes, oh, where are we? Oh, what is the, oh, shit.
Oh, hey, yeah, we're super trapped. I murdered a guy. That was super weird. I just like boiled his blood. Yeah, it's not about me, but anyway, we're about to get like totally captured by all these guys. It's great. It's great.
She goes, yeah, I don't like the look of this. Let's hide. No, there's nowhere to hide. We're already trapped. Ah, crap. Well, I suppose I'll follow you.
Thank
you for that.
Do we need to stake for anything? Is this good for? Use this for anything good? Bad? It's not bad. Just leave it here.
I don't know. I suppose keep it if it might come in handy in case we run into somebody else. I don't know, but
Okay, all right. I'll just put it back here. You sheath it.
They might disarm us anyways. So, as you walk, she says that, and if any of you do reach down to your side, you realize that they do, in fact, the only weapons that were in that car were the ones that you were able to take off the guards as you killed, but most of yours have been taken.
Not all of them. I slowly retract my claws just to save those for later.
I walk with kind of a limp when I exit the train. I want to eventually convince them that I need my cane.
You all do walk out, and as you step out, you see that there are a lot of military here. And there's a lot more kindred here than you expected. Faces you don't even recognize start to come out of other train cars that were right next to yours. The group that comes out of the train next to you, you do in fact see Avery, the other twin. You see Kurt, and you see some of the others pile out of that one. And you see Angela run towards Avery, and they go to hug each other after being separated, and one of the armed guards lets off a shot at him, and they both jump back and kind of step back in line with the rest of you. And out of the darkness steps Sister Mary Esther, the one that you've heard of, the one that you saw, Jax, right before you all went down this time. And she walks out and says, welcome back. I suppose none of you expected you'd be back here so soon. But you're valuable to me. You're valuable to us. And your contribution will be valuable to everyone. Next to her, you do see another face that you recognize step out of the shadows. And it is Sister Mary Louise, whom I don't believe you caught her name when you spoke to her. But she is the nun with the Nosferatu qualities. That was back at the hotel. Sister Mary Esther looks at you all and goes, now, I have things to attend to. But I will be leaving you with, one of our most prized doctors at the facility. She really is quite the up-and-coming star. Without further ado, Dr. Nadia Malik.
Welcome, ladies. I do hope you enjoyed your little vacation. We certainly had so much fun watching your behavior.
Sorry about Todd.
Expendable, like other things in this facility.
Was that Shay?
You are clever. I do hope you're enjoying your orange jumpsuits again. Now, a little word of advice. Agnes, I did enjoy your colorful similes. It is surprising to see such a jovial person have such beastly tenacity. So interesting. She looks over at Ibis. Ibis, such a peculiar name and an even more peculiar creature. You have something special that I think will be very useful to us. And Jax, the smell of fear and inner rage in you is just so intoxicating. Delilah. Oh, Delilah. I do hope you enjoyed that little bit of attention you got outside, the one that you so desperately need. But I will warn you, if you would like to survive in here, it would behoove you to be on your best behavior. Because in here, you'll find that you're just lab rats, just like everybody else. Is that understood?
I hope we kill you first.
Unlikely. Shall we? And I lead them in through the corridor.
I'm just going to give a quick glance to Delilah, kind of like a bide your time, we're outnumbered type of glance, like a... She knows.
No.
She speaks my eye.
No.
Doctor, please do show them to the Temperance Wing. I believe that the time has come to try Project 44.
With pleasure.
Excellent. Sister Mary Louise, please keep an eye on her. And you see her walk off.
And I'll just turn around before I lead them off and say, I'll remind you again, this is not the place to try anything funny. There are cameras everywhere and guards everywhere. So it would be in your best interest to settle down for the moment.
As you say that, you all do hear all of these army guards kind of of their guns pointed at you as she says that. You walk down a very large hallway. You can see that there are security lights. This looks like Guantanamo. It's just terrible. You don't even really remember it being this terrible last time you were here, considering when you were running through the facility, you only got quick glimpses of it, trying to escape so fast. And a lot of it was of just the underground tunnels. But this is truly a place of horror. You come to a large metal door that has a window, but it's covered. Some kind of black paper. You can't even really tell what that is. And it's threaded, so you can see that that's heavy industrial everything. The door opens with a shunk, and you enter a large white room. There is a control panel in the wall. And Dr. Nadia, you walk up to it, and you know what to do.
So are there chairs in this room? Is it set up for, is it like the experimentation? Is there a place for them to be seated?
There is. It is set up just the way you had it last time. The way that the experiment has gone properly, the chairs are arranged the way they need to be, and you have yours set up the way that you need it.
All right, ladies, everyone take a seat, please. Hurry now.
No, I'd rather stand.
Would you? Well, we can fix that. However, I think it would be safer for you and your friends if you followed directions. Now, everyone take a seat, please.
I don't sit down.
You notice that
Go ahead.
as you say that, a door opens in the side of the room, and you see Charlie, and he's tied up and gagged, and he is shaking and trying to get loose. Dr. Nadia, do you walk over and remove the gag from his mouth so he can speak for a moment?
I do, but not before pausing for a moment and making eye contact with Jax. And without removing my gaze from hers, I will undo his gag.
Oh, you better listen to it, Jax. I don't even know how they forced me, and I don't even know what this is. And for the first time, really, all of you see Charlie. You've never seen him before, but you see the look of horror on Jax's face, and he goes, "Jax, you've got to do what they say. Just do what they say. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero." And you feel this. You see this light just shine bright, and you hear him scream and go, "Ah!" And then the door closes.
Stop. Stop. How did you do that to him? Stop. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt him.
That's better. See, we're not above negotiating. It just depends on if you cooperate. Now then, are we all ready to take our seats?
I sit down. And the first chance I get, I want to try to go into a trance to do clairvoyance. Unless something happens. Who knows?
It is possible, because clairvoyance is not really any external signs of anything. It just kind of looks like you're going into a deep meditation. So, really wouldn't be any the wiser that you were doing this.
Okay, I sit down and I close my eyes and I start to do my thing. Do you want me to roll first, or do you want to do some other stuff first?
You can roll for it if you'd like.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
Is it a contested roll?
Oh, let's see. System roll intelligence against a difficulty based on the security and level of activity in the area. Is all it says. So, go ahead.
And what does clairvoyance do?
So by closing my eyes, entering a trance, I can become master of my surroundings. In a few minutes, I can gather information from roughly a city block-sized area. That would normally take hours. Basically, you have to answer my questions about the comings and goings in the area, what people have seen and heard, topics of local gossip, recent major shocks, blah, blah, blah. I can basically ask one question per point of margin.
Okay. And it's contested by the level of security.
Yeah, so it says, for example, would be my own house would be difficulty 3, while an unfamiliar city block would be 7 or more.
I mean, realistically, the security in this building is like super duper high. So you don't get very much.
Okay.
You can pretty much get that there's a lot of armed military around here, and that's what you're getting.
Okay. I come out of my trance.
Do you know for disciplines, it's free. I have resilience. Do I have to activate it, or is it just something that automatically I have? It's and endowed with supernatural endurance. I can strengthen my physical resolve. If it's something I have to activate, I would like to do that because I have a feeling torture is about to happen, and I want to keep my wits about me.
You may activate that.
I will sit down and become resilient.
Excellent. And what does the doctor do?
So once everybody's seated, I might need you to help me walk me through this because I've never. It's something I activate? Oh yes. Okay, so I will activate premonition.
My Yeti hates me. Please roll me your Auspex and Resolve.
Okay. Ooh. 5 successes.
You see everything around you is a beautiful field. The trees are green. There's rainbows shooting through the air. And all of a sudden, the forest is on fire. You see children running out of the forest in all directions. And you see a scorch mark left behind in the ground as everything moves in fast pace around you. It's a shape. You can't quite make out what it is. Maybe it's the shape of a state, of a country. It's right there on the tip of your tongue, but you can't figure it out, and you're back.
When I come back, do I have the sense that it is a safe space?
You know this area well. You know this particular laboratory pretty well at this point. You, depending on what you meant by safe.
Are there security cameras around?
You know that the security cameras that are there are pretty much usually facing towards doors and entryways to capture who leaves and who goes, but that they like to keep the experiments kind of under wraps. So unless requested, there's not usually a camera present on the actual experiment.
So there would be no audio either. It wouldn't be bugged. It wouldn't be mic'd.
Give me your wits and insight.
I got let's see, 2 successes and a critical success.
Just one crit,
2 crits.
2 crits.
Yeah.
So that is 6, and it's a critical.
Okay.
So yeah, you know that there's one that they don't know that you know about, but you know that if you walk over to the panel over by your chair and your desk, that you can switch it on and off. You haven't removed it yet because you know that they check for it, but you do know how to activate it.
Okay, so then I will go and turn the microphone off.
Excellent.
Once it's off, I will say, I am so sorry for what I said back there and what's happening. There's cameras everywhere. We're always being watched. I just need you to know that I'm on your side. Jax, I am so sorry. I didn't do that, but they're watching us at all times. And if I'm going to help you and I want to help you, I need to put on that facade when we are not inside this room.
What is
Please forgive
happening?
me.
What is happening to Charlie?
What is happening to Charlie?
Doctor, you are not 100% certain. You know that they're doing experiments with different disciplines and different magics and things like that. So it could be any number of things.
Honestly, I don't know. They are conducting so many experiments at once, and there's so many different abilities that you all have that they're looking into. So I honestly can't tell you. But I'm so sorry, and believe me, I want to destroy this thing from the inside, but I do need your help. I wasn't always on this side, but I know that you must have noticed that Sister Mary Louise has been embraced, and as was I, as part of all of this, just as an accident or not of my planning. But I honestly think that I don't think that they think you're an abomination. I think they just want to have control and power over people. And right now, we have this ability that's endangers the elite and the rulers of this society, and I think they just want to eradicate us because they want that control. But I think that if we're smart about this, that we can destroy whatever that they're doing here.
So what, you just torture our kind until you become one of us? Is that what happened?
Honestly, I was just a researcher when I first started here, and I have done terrible things and still have to, but if I stepped out of line, that I would have been in an orange jumpsuit as well, and all I want to do is destroy this thing from the inside. So please forgive me for what I'm doing. I don't want to. I want...
Oh, go ahead.
I hate this place, and I want it destroyed, and I don't want to have that power taken away from me. People call us abominations, but we're something special in my eyes.
You notice that Sister Mary Louise does appear over by the door, and she lifts a little piece of that film. You see now it's not black paper, it's like two-way mirror paper, like shading paper, and she peels it back for a moment and then slides her finger back down over it and presses it down and goes, "There are others coming. Just stay quiet for a moment." And you do hear footsteps pass, maybe about 20 guards marching. It's hard to hear because the door is thick, but you can almost feel the vibration through the floor with each unified march. And then they pass. And you see Mary Louise turn around, her one pointed ear leaving quite the bulge in the side of her habit. And she looks and goes, Dr. Nadia was there when I was turned. It was an accident. Different blood saved us. From different kindred. We see your side now.
I know you're probably all very angry and upset, and rightfully so. But believe me, and please trust me when I say that I am on your side, and I want to get us all out of here. And not just get us out of here, but destroy this place.
Yeah, you keep saying you want to destroy it from the inside. You're the mole. Show us where this underground hole is so we can put down a stick of dynamite and light the match. How do we do this? How do we do this fast? Because I don't know about you ladies, but I want to get the hell out of here again.
It's not that easy. Mary Esther has eyes everywhere and she doesn't work alone.
So
She does weird things. She can raise up armies. She said not to mention that ghoul support group that she's brainwashing. It's going to be a process.
So, I mean, I got a quick question. If we were gonna believe you, then this is all you're gonna help us out, and we're all gonna save the day. Why us exactly? There's tons of kindred you're loaded out here that we saw. So why this little group here?
Well, we've been watching you, and I think you can do it.
No
I just
one's ever
believe you
made it
can.
out as fast as you all have. Record time is very impressive.
I understand that this is a time-sensitive situation and everything, and I see you're working with us now. And if that's the case, I would like an apology.
Well, I did just apologize to the group just now, but Delilah, I'm so sorry. And to all of you, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any of what I said outside, and I'm sorry.
Are you aware of what you're apologizing to me for?
Well, you've all been horribly mistreated.
You put me in an orange jumpsuit.
I was about to say, I think she's talking about her outfits.
It's always about the outfits with Delilah. It's a
I see. You know, orange is my least favorite color, so I understand that. They are hideous.
I take
I
it
don't
as
think
a
anybody
personal
should.
It could be worse. You could be stuck in wool.
I would
she
just
points to her own dress.
I would just like to say, Delilah, as hideous as they are, it seems that you can pull anything off.
That is true.
Yes.
Okay, I forgive you, Dr. Girl.
Thank you. And I might have to be forgive my language, but a complete bitch once we're on the outside again, and if we're in proximity together. So my future apologies for anything I might do or say in the future, but I just please know that I think you have something very special, and for the first time in many years, I actually have hope now that there may be an end to this soon.
You're right. We do have we all have something special. But just to be clear, my something special is Charlie. Charlie is my something special, so I will help you destroy this place, and I will be more than happy to leave this place, but I can't do any of that without him. That's all.
I understand. And am I able to actually take him out of, or was that like a separate room?
That was a separate room. There was a panel that opened, but he is kind of in like a little separate area off on the side, really thick glass.
Do I have any control over that?
You can make the door slide open and shut, but you know that you're not really sure how to get him out of there.
Okay. I don't. I'm not quite sure how to free him. But if it would help, would you like to speak to him and at least let him know that we're trying to escape? Okay. So I will open the partition.
When you open it, he is gone.
You bitch. Where is he?
I don't know.
Someone's coming. Someone's coming. I think it's him. And you see her eyes get very big as she looks at you, Doctor. And you know what that means.
Real quick, I'm going to say, Doc, if you have to put on a show and do anything to hurt us, give it to me.
Okay. Again, I hope that there won't be many opportunities of that display. And just a storyteller question: who is it? That's
you hear a little bit of force on the door as it swings open. And the man that walks in, you know to be Dr. Joseph Jebediah. And when he starts speaking, you all recognize the voice. Good evening, kindred. Fancy seeing you here again. Haven't seen you since the wonderful tanks. He is your senior, Doctor. The one that you are studying under. Different from your background, he is a doctor that comes from the church and is known to you for having wild and crazy ideas, mixing spirituality and faith and magic with science. He walks into the room and looks at all of you and goes, well, thought I'd come check this out. Seems we were having a little bit of technical trouble in this wing. But if you'd like, a bit of something new for you. Doctor, may
Yes,
I
doctor.
ask? Perhaps you could participate in this experiment as well.
what sort of experiment, Doctor?
A bit of a variant of 44.
Right then. Shall
I
we
know.
get started?
I know your mind has the brilliance and resilience to handle it, but yes, indeed, I think we shall. Ladies, you'll notice underneath your chair, attached, is a small headband. It's very fashionable. If you could, just place that across your foreheads for me. I promise you it won't hurt.
I don't like the color.
As I do it, I look at, I'm so sorry. It was Dr. What was her name?
Nadia.
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 I just look at Dr. Nadia, like kind of like trying to remind her to, if you can, not hurt the others too badly.
He goes, well, there we go. You all look set. Yes, right about the temple. He comes through and adjusts some of yours and goes, now, this should only hurt for a second. And he flicks a switch that is in that control panel that's on the wall over by your desk, Doctor. And you do all feel a jolt. It's nowhere near that gunshot that you just got, though, Agnes. This is nothing. This is like a mild static electricity compared to that. But
Oh, and that was just a flesh wound. That was fine.
exactly. But after that, you do see that bright flash of white light again that you remember from when you were in the tanks. And then all white around you again. And then you open your eyes and you're in a field. But you can all see each other.
Is this familiar to what I recently experienced?
You have never been here before, Doctor, but you kind of have an idea of what's going on with some of your knowledge of the type of experiments that they've been running. You can kind of maybe grasp a little bit about what this is, but you do know that you do know what Project 44 is looking for, what the goal of that is.
Mm-hmm. So, and everybody, we could all see each other? We're in close proximity.
Which is new. The last time that you guys saw that bright flash of light and you were in the White Room, none of you could see each other, but now you clearly can.
Hi, are we dead? Are we dead? Did we just die?
Yes. Okay, this is good. I didn't know if this would work, but this from now on will be the only safe place that we can speak candidly without being overheard by the others.
I find that hard to believe, considering that asshole was the one who put all these on our heads to begin with.
I don't think he knows what we can say to each other. Maybe what we see, but I don't think he knows what we could hear.
So is our first goal just to kill him and get out of here? I mean, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this situation. If we kill one leader of something, then there's all these other guards around, and I don't know. What's the master plan here?
It might have to take cooperation from some others and certainly a lot of planning, because I'm not sure if taking down just one would do it. But if we can take down enough of the top leaders of this project, then I think we have a chance.
Okay, I guess we're gonna do some murdering. Sounds good. It sounds like we do need to find Charlie. Was it?
Yes, and Nadia, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I got so upset when he wasn't there. That was not okay. I don't get close to too many people because I'm afraid of being hurt. And Charlie, I've never had to worry about Charlie until now, and it's hard for me, and I'm very sorry, but I'm ready to help.
Believe me, you don't have to apologize at all for everything that you've been through. I don't need any apologies. I know he's dear to you, and I will do anything I can to make sure that he's safe.
You know, if I can get 5 minutes to myself, and are the blindfolds we have on, are they white by any chance?
The apparatuses that you had on your head
Then at the very
are not there. Where you are right now would seem to not be the case. Like
Okay.
you feel like you don't have anything on your head where you're at, even though you clearly remember putting something on your head.
I don't think it would do any good to like cast any spells in this weird make-believe space that we're in, but once we're conscious again, if I can get a piece of white fabric, satin, ribbon, I can try to track Charlie for you, but you know, we'll need to be able to move around.
I mean, I could try to make that happen for you.
But the problem is if we start moving around, then there's guards and bad guys and all this stuff happening.
I'm not even sure if it would work. Can you do a spell within?
No, I'm saying once we're out of this weird white. Where are we exactly? What is this called?
Doctor, you know exactly what this is. And you know exactly which discipline this is that they're studying.
Would this also be the premonition?
This is a form of forced auspex. They are pushing different forms of premonition and sense the unseen, different ways that they've been able to study this particular discipline is being forced into your minds.
It's a forced auspex experiment. I think that's what they've been focusing on.
Okay. Once we're out of this trance, what do you think they're going to ask us? What are they aiming to do here?
As you say that, Avis, you all notice that there's a group of people walking down a mountain nearby. It's like a dirt road path that seems to be near you. They are carrying candles, black candles, and they are walking in black and red cloaks. You can't quite see their faces, but they seem to be walking towards an empty field. There's maybe about 40 of them. They seem to be humming a song, almost like monks, as they walk.
Is this familiar to me at all?
You can all give me your wits and occult to see if any of you recognize who or what they might be.
I apologize. I just dropped all my dice. I'll be right back.
Floor dice don't count.
I got 1 success.
3?
I also got 3.
Jax, you just think they're creepy as fuck.
Or Theodora. Oh.
How many, Christina?
3.
3. Lots of 3s today.
Are Theodora and the other twin here with us, or is it just us 5?
It is just you 5 at the moment. The others got separated and have been shown into other rooms. All of the group of those kindred have kind of been seen off. Is Bonnie still counting floor dice? Poor Bonnie. No.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't succeed at all.
All right.
My floor dice are now cursed.
With the 3, you all realize that this it's definitely a cult of some sort from like a while back. Like that maybe they're like Knights Templars or something. Like, but they're definitely like not. They don't give off that new kind of feely vibe. Like this feels like maybe you're in another time even as well. Like it's a very very odd but mystical feeling. But they're probably like Templars or Freemasons or something like that. One of those creepy culty people.
Oh, I think I see a group of fellow like-minded researchers. Do you think if we could talk to them, they'll be real people who are also in this trance? Or do you think, I mean, should we just go over and check? I mean, I'm really curious.
Your guess is as good as mine.
That doesn't quite make sense to me. There's just something I'm sorry. I can't shake the feeling of a double cross. I just can't.
That the what? I'm sorry.
I just can't shake the feeling of a double cross. And I don't think it's wise to be telling you our plan, because you've gone from this extremely competent, capable, firm woman to, I would say a quivering mill, but that doesn't work. But you just seem, I don't know. How long have you worked in this facility?
I've been working in this facility for several years, but this is a brand new experiment. And don't insult me by telling me I'm quivering, because I'm in a situation just as dangerous as all of you, because I'm also a kindred and they know it. So I have to either put on this face when I'm with them. But if I can be perfectly honest, I'm just as terrified. I don't want to lose my life. I don't want to be cured of whatever it is that they're trying to cure me of, because I don't think this is an affliction. I don't think that this is an abomination. And once you get a taste of this power, I will be very blunt with you. I like it.
Hey,
and I'm not about to give it up.
That's fine, baby. I just need to know that we're on the same page, and I just can't shake the feeling that we're just not. But I'm going to trust you. You know why I'm going to do that?
Why is that?
Because you have incredible eyebrows. And there's something about an incredible eyebrow that denotes character in a person.
You know, I don't get very many compliments in here, so I do appreciate that.
You do make a good point, though, Delilah. I'm just saying, Doctor, your words are pretty, but this whole thing could just be one new old torture experiment, trying to see, a different kind of cage to see how we react to different scenarios. You might just be one of those scenarios.
I understand your hesitation. Believe me. And you're right. So I'm going to have to earn that trust, won't I? I don't see how you could object to that.
It's fair enough.
As you're all standing there, it would appear out of nowhere, you see Sister Mary Louise again. And she turns around and looks at all of you and goes, I slipped one on when he wasn't looking, but I'm sure he'll be happy to just have one more experiment. She goes, we've been looking for a location. We've come across a suitcase with plans in it that I believe belonged to your friends, Heather, Kurt.
That damn suitcase. They kept going on and on about that damn suitcase.
Well, it leads to what we might think is a possible location for, well, either the biggest help or the most dangerous thing that we've ever encountered. I've looked through the notes that were in the suitcase. I managed to take a couple that I felt they shouldn't have. I don't have them on me at the moment, but strange references to things. These Bali, these ancients. It could go one of two ways. They could really, really help or destroy us all. But either way, both the resistance and the facility are now looking. That's why we're here. They're looking for a location.
At this point, if I would like to tell them things that I saw right before we did this experiment in the premonition. But if you could highlight some of that recap so that I am not missing anything.
My memory is terrible too. Let's see. It was a forest that was on fire, and children were running away from the flames. And there was a burn spot in the ground that could have been a state, a country. It's hard to tell whether it was right side up or sideways or upside down, but it was a shape of something.
Do I recall what that shape is?
Give me your wits and awareness.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, 3 successes.
Might have been Georgia.
Might have been. It was like a peach shape. It might be symbolic, but it was kind of somewhere in between the shape of a peach and the actual shape of the state. It's kind of blurry, but I feel like that was the location.
All right, so you had a vision of a burning fruit.
Well, I think that was just a symbolism for
Right,
the
symbols.
state. I think that was the location.
Typical. Well, that could possibly be where we are now, says Sister Louise as she points down to what appear to be like palmettos, things that you know are definitely not intrinsic to Denver by any means, but could definitely be some sort of southern tropic type plants.
They are trying to hone in on something specific here.
So, I'm sorry if I just sound super confused, but so the imaginary white space we're in now is Georgia, but it's not real. But the place where our bodies are that's Denver still, right? Or did we get to take a train to Georgia? I don't know how long we were out, so I'm kind of confused about time and space here.
I think we were literally on a midnight train to Georgia.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to Denver by night this evening. We'll catch you next time.
I guess I just run out of clever phrases, so now I'm doing song titles.
That was gold.
It is very good. In my defense, everyone kept saying, welcome back. So I kind of thought we were in the same place, which was in Denver. And, I got confused.
Your body is still in the facility in Denver.
That's
Your
what I'm saying.
mind is here.
Okay. So are we
Yeah.
gonna look for your special place in the brain space or
Ibis, if I may, a better word for it than the brain place would perhaps be the astral plane.
Oh, neat, like that one. That's a good one.
Yes, and again, we've been trying to hone in on the location of the Bali, or what we need to get to it. The next step in finding them, the Ancient One.
Well, not to be master of the obvious, but remember those little roads people we saw with all the cool candles? Do you think maybe they're a symbolic of where we're supposed to go? Should we follow them?
Did you see people with robes? You realize Louise popped in probably about a second after they had passed, so she did not see them.
Yeah, like spooky old timesy folk, like Freemasons. I mean, technically I'm an old timesy person too, but time.
They seem to be of an older organization. They didn't have that new cult smell.
Oh, I suppose we should probably follow them, but stay behind just a bit. Don't get right up on them. These things, experiments, we found can go through time as well as space. So in the event that we even can interact with them, it might be a good idea not to, for the sake of having a future to come back to.
Like Back to the Future, kind of.
Yes, I did love that movie. All right, everyone stay low if you can. And you all do see that there are the group of individuals that are walking down the road carrying the candles. And it is an absolutely beautiful night. You see all of the stars in the sky. This is in just the vast country. It is fields of roaming grains and hills just upon hills. And you guys are able to follow them for quite a while to what looks like a field. And they come across something. It's hard to tell at first what it is. It's like, is that a castle? Is that rocks? And as you move closer, it kind of looks like Stonehenge. And the last block is being placed.
All I see is a bunch of rocks. I don't get it.
They are recreating a very special structure that has only been observed in certain parts of the world. I don't know that there was one in Georgia ever. Am I mistaken?
You see the group of individuals go around in a circle. And they kind of put their hands up and start saying some phrases. You can't really quite tell what language that is. Ibis, you're a reader and you've heard Latin, especially with the spells, and you're like, that's not even what that is. I don't know what that is. It's very odd. And you see a bolt of lightning crash down into what this rock formation is. And they all turn and face outwards and do the same thing. And you see bolts of lightning shoot in 4 different directions outwards from the figure, the Stonehenge type building. And they turn around and spin 3 times and then head into the woods.
Well, maybe we can get a closer look at what this structure is, because I don't recall ever there being a Stonehenge-like structure in Georgia. But maybe we can get a closer look.
Absolutely. Let's go investigate. I like the cut of your jib, girl. Let's go.
I'll start walking towards it.
Excellent. As you guys get up there, you notice it's on the top of the hill. You guys wait long enough that you've made sure that every last one of the cultists has gone into the forest. I lost my reference photo. But you're able to make it up there, and you do see what looks like very, very large stones. It's not exactly like Stonehenge, but it's pretty close. It is a large rectangle on top, and what would appear to be 4 more rectangles on each side, and a big, large column in the middle of it. It has words in a bunch of different languages. Almost each side of the stone has a different language written on it. And it has multiple different commandments. You're not quite sure, but there seems to be rules written on each one when you finally find the one that's actually written in English that you can read. I am trying to find for you what they say at the moment, and my internet does not want to work with me.
I approach Delilah, and I say, Delilah, is it just me, or does that kind of look like an amphitheater?
You know, I do love a good amphitheater. You know, I once performed at an outside concert in the late 60s. It was such a good time. I think people still talk about it now.
Did you sing at it?
Oh, you know, I did. I was there. It was me and James, and it was just nice.
I can't wait for till this is over, and I could watch you in a real concert.
You know, I want to see you on the stage too, baby.
Yeah. Me too.
As you are all looking around, Dr. Nadia, you see a plaque on the ground that has written on it, "The Georgia Guidestones. Center cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. Let these be guidestones to an age of reason." And a guide for which side is written in what language. And it says Babylonian, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphics. And in the center, it's written in English.
I'll walk over to the English side.
It says 10 basic commandments, which is very odd. You can tell now why the church probably has interest in such an odd thing, with it being so semi-religious. It says maintain humanity under 500 million. Guide reproduction wisely. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, and tradition, and all things tempered in reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, and seeking harmony with the infinite. And the last one, be not a cancer on this earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
I can definitely see why such a zealous religious organization would seek out such a location. Does any of that not strike you as troubling, though?
Yeah, the whole, maintain your humanity part seems a little ostracizing to people like us.
Well,
But why would they want this spot? I mean, I guess it can make lightning, but other than that, we haven't really seen what it can do.
I don't know, but did you see or did you recognize or notice the part about keeping a population under a certain number and then reproductive rights?
Yeah, I don't know. Were those kindred or human?
Mary Louise looks up at all of you and goes, oh, something's not right. I don't like any of this. She goes, those look like Templars. They're the ones that are supposed to guide the Holy Grail, keep protection over the Holy Grail, but, well, those look like newer Templars. It's an old concept, but a new spin on it. She goes, and this must be some kind of place of power. I wonder, is there anybody that's good at hearing or seeing anything? I don't have those gifts, but things like wards, mystical things.
I can try something. And then I walk towards the pillar, and I put my hand on it, and I use Spirit's Touch.
Excellent. Roll that for me, please.
Two successes.
When you touch this, you get this overwhelming feeling of power. There's definitely something about this structure that is just radiating with magical, mystical energy, almost more intensely than anything you've ever felt, Jax.
Yeah, this is there's something to this. Can I tell if the energy on the stone is positive or negative in any way?
It feels neutral, like, but not neutral in a good way, neutral in an unstable way.
This is seems to be a powerful structure. I don't know much more about it than that, but just be careful, because there's a lot of energy behind this shit.
Everyone give me either wits and awareness or wits and intelligence roll. We are also quietly muted for our significant dice rolls of greatness.
4.
3.
7.
Nice.
1.
4, 3, 1. How many for Delilah?
4.
4. As you guys are looking around, you notice a few things. Agnes, you got 1, right? 3. Jack's got 1. Jax, you're still very upset that you can't find Charlie. You're still a little mortified by that. The rest of you with the 3 and 4, as you're walking around, you can kind of see that as you look around, maybe the little slats that are in some of these stones, maybe they line up to certain constellations. You can kind of figure out that it's like a measuring tool. And Dr. Nadia, you recognize that this is a moon dial. If you guys were there on a full moon and this was shining through at a certain time, you might be able to possibly find some kind of key, or maybe it opens something. But this is definitely it's a puzzle, but it's a moon dial.
And I will relay that. This seems to be a moon dial, and I believe if the on a full moon, perhaps the direction in which it shines might, all pun intended, illuminate a key to this puzzle.
Okay, how do we get a full moon going in this alternate space here?
Well, I don't know if we could do it here, but perhaps.
What
there.
you saying? We actually go to Georgia?
Oh, the real place. Yeah, the real one. That makes more sense.
How do we know this place is even still in Georgia? I've never heard of a bunch of rocks in Georgia like this. I've heard of that Stonehenge place.
That's a very good question.
Well, I've heard about the Guidestones.
You have, Louise says to you.
Yeah, it's made the news here and there, and also parts of some conspiracy theorists' plots on population control. If
She
you
looks
believe
up
in
and
that
goes,
sort of thing.
"It's a vile eyesore." But yeah, it's there doesn't seem to be a moon in the sky here where we are. And as you all look up, there isn't. Whatever time of night it may be, maybe it's a new moon, but the moon phase definitely not going to shine through there anytime. She goes, but I believe that's a confirmation of some sort. You felt energy, you said, Jax.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you more, but it was just strong.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, if this were placed in for very specific astrological occurrences, and there are stars out, is anybody familiar with constellations? We would know which ones are directly above us.
I mean, back in the day, we didn't have any fancy apps or anything. We had to use our eyes for navigation most of the time, especially out, roaming around when there's not much out there. But it's been a while since I've navigated like that.
Well, I would just think that it might give us a certain a season or time of year in which the stars are aligned.
I can try, but honestly, this isn't my forte. I'm not really the smart one here. You want to look at some of these other ladies that might know.
Yeah.
I do know constellations. Spent most of my time outside, but that's about the extent of it. I'm not going to let you know if it's May 10th.
You all can give me, anybody who's trying to look up at the sky and navigate by the stars, because you can all do it, wits and survival, or intelligence and survival.
Oh.
And okay.
As you are all looking up at the sky, Jax, you look down at your feet and you see a little wagging tail between your legs. And then you see the tail kind of dips around and you see a little face look up at you between your ankles. And then they drop down.
Is it dog face?
It is dog face.
Yes. Dog, good boy. Oh, good boy. You're so cute. Oh.
Dogface does roll over onto his back so you can give him belly scritches while they are looking at the constellations.
Give him
what was your rolls?
So I did pretty good, but also real bad. I got 6 successes, one of them being the critical for the 4. But on my 2 red die, I got both skulls.
Yeah, we house ruled that the skulls are only bad if you get that and nothing else. So as long as you got other things, the skulls are fine.
Let's pretend those didn't exist. I got 6.
You got 6. And how many?
They just look really scary.
How many for Evis? 4?
4, yeah.
As you guys look up and you're trying to figure out what like time it is, what year it is, what month it is. Is that what you're trying to discover? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Just, season?
I would like to see if maybe a season, a month, maybe.
You guys
knew the
can
month,
tell
we would know that the full moon it would be the full moon on that month.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that it's probably early in the year, maybe late winter, early spring, but the constellations are definitely off. Like, you haven't seen that one in that place since the 80s. So this is probably right around the time that this stone was built. Because the placard did say 1980, and you're like, oh, that's about right. That's where that would have been. Give a few ticks to the left or right.
Yeah, dog, these stars are all wrong. We're in some kind of, what are these kids called today? This VR shit? Like
astral plane is the word we're using now.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Not VR shit.
All right. Some asshole plane.
That's
here
good.
we are. Close enough, right?
No, it works.
Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking late winter, early spring. But again, this is all wrong. This is not what it is today.
Well,
I am feeling a little bit better. I want to look at the sky and look at the rocks and use premonition.
Damn this mute. Give me your resolve and aspects, please. And as you do that, you do notice that Dogbutt starts sniffing around the stones. Dogface, sorry, starts sniffing around the stones. Also, that's why I'm not allowed to name animals, because I would have named Dogbutt. He starts sniffing around, and he does go up to one in particular. The one that the side of it that's written in hieroglyphics, and he seems very intrigued by that and kind of scratching at it a little bit. How many for your premonition?
3.
3. You are very disoriented at first when you try this. It almost like makes you super dizzy and a little nauseous. And you kind of think to yourself, you're like, that makes sense because we're already like in a thing and that's a thing, but you are able to push past it. And what you see is the forest that she described. And you see that it's on fire. And you see the running out of the woods of the children. And out of the ashes of that shape that was left, you see 2 hands, claws, pop out from the ground and start pulling themselves out of the dirt. And you are back. And you notice, Jax, that the forest that kind of surrounds these stones looks a lot like the forest in your vision.
Okay. Nadia.
Yes.
You remember that forest you were talking about?
Yeah. What about it? Oh, shit. As I recognize. Okay. Things have just gotten a little worse. Because now there's going to be children running out of there.
What?
Yeah, there was a forest on fire and running, screaming, frightened children. And then here we are. This is it.
And we have something even worse coming, Nadia. You see, I think we're about to meet a terrible beast who is an owner of not one good quality.
And that is a good place to end our story for this evening. I will go around and let you all introduce yourselves one last time and say where people can find you on the socials, and go ahead and shout out any projects that you guys have going on that you want people to tune into and check out. So we will go again around in the order that I see you, and I will start again with you, Shane.
Hi, I'm Shane Easton. You can follow me on Twitter at A Slight Sprite to find out all the stuff I'm working on. And that's it. And thank you so much, May, for telling such a cool story. You're amazing.
Thank you guys for being here. I love playing with you all. You're so amazing. Next, Bonnie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bonnie Gordon. You can find me all over social media at Bonnie Bell G, as well as my nerdy comedy band at Library Bards. Yay! I was like, I know Christina will do it. And check out my social for more solo music that I'm posting. I'm doing a lot of fun mashups and weird music because I have nothing else to do during quarantine. And that's it. Hooray.
And we have Christina.
Hi, my name is Christina Ariel. That's KrystinAarielle. And you can find me here. And you can find me on Twitter, punching racist in the dick with my words. Yeah, so Black Lives Matter. Please remember that. COVID is real. Wear your fucking mask.
All of that, double it, put a cherry on top of it. Next, Michelle.
Hi, I've been I can't write outro anymore. My name is Michelle Wynn Bradley. That is my real name. You can find me anywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. I do videos about anime and manga and stuff, but you can find that on my Twitter. I talk about it there. And yeah, Black Lives Matter. Holy shit, guys. Wear a goddamn mask. I double, triple support that statement.
And last but not least, our special guest for the evening, Nora.
Hi, I'm Nora Ibrahim. I'm going to be B-Day for a second. I'm going to be like, first of all, just going to let you know that these lovely ladies, thank you so much for having me on your show. You're all so amazingly talented. And thank you for allowing me to be a bitch in that first half. And you're all very good sports about it. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Noralogical, Noura, logical. I'm in a couple of things. You know me probably from Rally by Night. And I'm on Tides of Wildmount, which is the Wildmount campaign that is running on Realmsmith's Twitch channel and D&D's Twitch channel. And I'm in a new Call of Cthulhu game called Carnaby Street Case Files. We just did our first episode. We're doing a once a month game. That is going to be on the initiative order on Twitch and on YouTube. Episode 2 is going to be July 11th at 6 p.m. Pacific with special guests Satine Phoenix and Cynthia Marie. So we're very excited to have them on. So thank you. And then thank you again for having me on this show. I've loved this entire season. And yeah, Black Lives Matter, wear a mask, Black trans lives matter. Take care of yourselves and love you all.
And I am Melee Damage. First, I want to say thank you to Q Times for putting up with me and all of my shenanigans. So thank you, Jake. Thank you, Q Times, for having us and letting us do this. And thank all of you lovely ladies for being here. You guys can catch me here on Wednesdays. We have one more episode left this season. This is the 2-part finale. And then after this, we may do a second season after we take a short break. This is pre-taped, this episode. We are currently right now, as you're watching this, filming part 2. So if I'm going to go ahead and say arrest Breonna Taylor's murderers. Hopefully we've already done that. And also check out A Dark and Wish on Thursday. And we will catch you all next week. Please enjoy your evening. And remember, Black Lives Matter and fuck the police.